So I'm going to start off with my braid pattern, and I'm just going to do some braids going straight back. You guys know that I have an undercut and shaved sides. I'm in the process of growing out a V shape with my hair, so you're going to see it probably a little later on, a little patch of hair, but I'm growing that out in the meantime so I can have some options to do other styles. But for now with this, I'm just going to do some straight back braids, and I'm going to connect the previous tail, that's harmony guys, from the other braid, and just continue to braid straight back. With protective styling, as always, moisture is key, so I'm just using a combination of wild growth hair oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, and avocado oil, and applying that to the scalp. Now for the braid, I'm sorry guys, my kids are here so it's a little noisy, but I just using the crochet needle and just connecting that braid through an existing braid instead of sewing it down. Makes it easier to take down. So the hair that I'm going to be using today is the Freetress braid, wand curl braid, and this is the pack that has double. You okay, baby? And this is in the color number 1, and the curls are so pretty. And I'm actually using an actual crochet needle. This isn't like a, you know, here your standard crochet hair needle. This is an actual crochet needle, and it's a lot sturdier, and I prefer to use this one because it has that little bend in it, so when it slides through the braid it doesn't make my head feel like, you know, there's a lot of tension. I got it from Walmart when I was in Ohio, but I'm sure you can find it in any Walmart or any craft store really. So as always, I'm taking the needle through the braid, attaching the loop of the hair onto the crochet needle, closing the latch, pulling it in the reverse direction, and then I am creating a loop with my index and thumb, and just pulling the existing and remaining hair through about 2 times to create a secure knot. So the bottom crochets that you see here, I actually have separated them, but they pulled them apart and made them a little bit too frizzy for the bottom, so I'm just cutting as I go and creating more layers and shape. And as you can see here, I'm going to continue to crochet. And if I didn't mention it earlier, I believe I had a total of 5 braids going back to my head. I don't have a lot of hair, so 5 braids is enough, and it gives me just enough space to crochet. The more braids you have, of course, the more hair you'll need because you have to fill those braids up. And I did them pretty close because I wanted them to be rather full. So I'm now starting my second pack of hair. Harmony is just like all types of talkative today, guys. Okay, so now I am continuing just to crochet. I am so sorry for these faces, guys. I don't know. Here's the problem. I wear, if you guys can see, I wear glasses. But if I keep my face relaxed when I'm looking down, they slide. So I have to make a really ugly face in order for them not to fall off my face. So I'm doing the final braid now, which is the braid on that side you see there. And I am basically doing the same method, only instead of pulling through both strands, I'm just pulling one, and this is going to create a knot on the opposite side of the braid, so that when you flip that last piece of hair over the braid, you're not going to see any knots. It'll just look like it's growing out of your scalp. So as you can see, I'm just taking one strand, and that's it. And I'm going to continue this method until the entire braid is filled. This hairstyle took all of like maybe 45 minutes to complete. Of course, I don't have a lot of hair on my head, so it doesn't take that long, but it takes me about 45 minutes to do my crochet. And yeah. So now I am just going to cut some layers into the hair and give it a little bit of texture. I don't like the ends looking so uniform. I'm going to do a lot of pulling apart and separating and frizzing and just making the hair look as natural as possible. I wanted to mimic an old twist out, so I am just going to pull it apart and, you know, kind of manipulate the curls a bit to give it that textured look, and create a couple of layers, get rid of those like straggly ends and pieces, and make it look like my own, so you guys can just kind of watch and see what I'm doing here.